This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Speaking out, the family of a slain Centreville woman criticizes delays in the case against her accused killer.
In the red, why most Nova Scotia universities are grappling with budget shortfalls.
And bridge closed. A months-long detour interrupts a scenic tourist route in Portapique.
Increasing clouds and indeed a damper end to the week with shower chances Thursday and especially Friday. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. Family members of a 22-year-old woman who was killed 6 months ago are speaking out about their experience with the justice system.
Peyton Pick's boyfriend is charged with killing her, but her family says delays in the court process and lack of support are compounding their grief. Nicholas Sagan reports.
Peyton Pick's family and friends gathering at court for the 9th time, feeling like time is passing with no progress. They say court delays and a lack of support are stopping them from healing.
We need to get this ball rolling. Every time we have to come back to court and it gets pushed over again and pushed over again, it just sets us back.
Peyton was killed in January in what police say was a case of intimate partner violence. Her body found in this home that had been set on fire. Her boyfriend, Justin Benjamin, charged with second-degree murder. Benjamin first appeared in court in January. The matter has been put over repeatedly since then. He appeared in court again today, but a date for a preliminary inquiry still has not been set.
We're not going to be able to start healing until we get through this trial.
The family says support and information from victim services and the Crown has been minimal.
There's been no help, there's been no understanding, no people reaching out.
Pi says Chrysalis House, the local women's shelter, has been offering emotional support and counseling, filling in the gaps.
They've come with us now at every court hearing. They're emailing us, checking in and all of that, so much more than, the victim services should have done.
The Crown declined an interview request, and Benjamin's defense team says no comment at this time. In a statement, Justice Minister Becky Drouin says she recognizes timely access to justice is important for healing, and her department has made significant investments to improve access across the justice system. She says her thoughts are with everyone impacted. As Peyton's family remembers her, they're hoping for change to help other families too. Nicholas Sagan, CBC News, Kentville.
A 37-year-old former music teacher has been sentenced to 4 years in prison for sexual offenses involving a 15-year-old student. Nicole McLeod pleaded guilty in March to 2 counts of sexual interference, 1 count of invitation to sexual touching, and 1 count of luring. McLeod was a teacher at Tatamagouche Regional Academy at the time of the offenses, which took place last year. The court was told McLeod performed sexual acts on the student. None of it happened at the school. The 4-year sentence was a joint recommendation between Crown and Defence.
Nova Scotia's universities are grappling with budget shortfalls. All of the province's large universities are planning deficits for the coming year. The crunch comes amid plummeting international enrollment and stagnating provincial funding. The CBC's Francis Willick has more.
Almost every university in Nova Scotia is planning a deficit in the operating budget for the coming year. The amounts range from just under $1 million to $20 million.
So what's going on? Why are the province's universities struggling to balance the books? First of all, some context. This is not business as usual. Sure, in any given year, a couple of Nova Scotia's universities might run a deficit, but mostly they have surpluses. So all of them in the same year in the red, there's something at play here.
Let's look at government funding. Across Canada, the government used to provide over half of universities' operating revenue, but that has shrunk over time. In Nova Scotia, government funding now makes up about a third of university revenue. So universities turn to tuition to increase revenue, especially to international tuition. International students pay double or even triple what Canadian students pay to study here. Enrollment from international students skyrocketed at Nova Scotia universities, especially at Cape Breton University. 2 years ago, 77% of the student population at CBU came from abroad. But then, in January 2024, the federal government slammed the brakes on international student permits by introducing caps. Ottawa was concerned about the impact of international students on the housing market. Since then, international enrollment across Canada has tanked. Peter McGuinness teaches at St. Francis Xavier University. He says the era of relying so heavily on international enrollment is likely over.
But you're really seeing a model, an economic model that was never going to be sustainable based on international students, and the differential fees was always going to be unstable and volatile.
So what's next? How are Nova Scotia's universities going to balance their budgets? Some have already announced across-the-board cuts to departments. There are hiring freezes, contract staff who won't get their contracts renewed, and tuition raises for some students. There's talk about cutting programs and courses.
It's too early to say if or how Nova Scotia's universities will look different in 2 years or 5 years. But some say no matter what happens, they are worth preserving.
They make such a valuable contribution to Nova Scotia's economic growth and attraction of talent and driving the research agenda and creation of new business that, I think there's always going to be a place for strong, competitive universities in the province.
Frances Willig, CBC News, Halifax.
Nova Scotia's Chief Medical Officer of Health says the rate of measles vaccination in the province is inadequate. Dr. Robert Strang says in 2024, 93% of 2-year-olds had at least one dose, and 79% of 2-year-olds had two. Strang says even if the provincial numbers don't capture every child who had the shot, the percentages need to be higher to fully prevent the spread.
We need to have at least 95% coverage for whatever age group or community that you're talking about. There needs to be that high level of vaccine coverage or immunity because measles is so infectious. So you need high levels of immunity to prevent spread with the inevitable introduction of measles that we're going to see more of.
Nova Scotia Health is investigating a lab-confirmed case of measles in Pictou County and suggests there could be more. Measles vaccination is recommended for babies at 12 months and 18 months.
Pretty nice day in Nova Scotia. Here's Ryan Snoddon with a look at the weather.
Yes, definitely warm and sunny.
Yeah, an A++ day today. I mean, low humidity, warm temperatures, sunshine. Again, the South Shore. I know you folks in the Southwest struggled a little bit today with that cloud cover. Let's go back to those highs and show you. Yeah, you can see mid to high 20s for most of us. A little cooler down the South Shore, but Shelburne, Yarmouth did get to 21 degrees today. And yes, as we move through tonight, still an isolated shower risk in through Shelburne for the next hour or two. And then looking at a beautiful night tonight, a beautiful evening, overnight, and into tomorrow. That's when the clouds are going to really build in. Increasing clouds for Thursday. We're going to bring in some shower chances. Yarmouth, the South Shore, into the afternoon on Thursday. Doesn't look like it's going to amount to a whole lot before supper time. Once we get into the supper hour and into the evening, that's when we'll be watching a greatest risk for showers marching up, and even into the metro area. If you have some Thursday evening plans, make sure they include an umbrella, as we will be looking at that chance of showers marching in. Temperatures on Thursday looking set to range between the high teens and low 20s for the closer to the Atlantic coastline. We'll get warmer towards the north yet again. That 7 days looking pretty good. We'll talk about that with your full forecast coming up.
Looking forward to it.
Okay,
thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Well, the mayor of Halifax says the governance system at City Hall should change to better serve the public. Yesterday, Mayor Andy Fillmore addressed rumors that the province could bring in strong mayor powers for Halifax. But one political expert says he has yet to see a good argument for that system. The CBC's Haley Ryan has more.
Rumors that the provincial government is planning strong mayor powers for Halifax have swirled for months. Halifax Mayor Andy Fillmore says he has not formally asked for such powers, but has spoken with the PC government about their shared priorities on affordability, housing, traffic congestion, and fiscal restraint. Fillmore said Tuesday that Halifax's municipal structure slows down progress on those issues, and change is needed.
I didn't fully understand the barriers to fulfilling the mandate that I was elected to deliver until after I was in the chair.
Fillmore was a Halifax municipal planner for years before he was elected as the city's MP in 2015. Fillmore says he is concerned about the power that chief administrative officers have and the sometimes lengthy process for council to give them direction.
The system that we are currently working with, not because of any ill intent, but because of the way it's evolved over many years, largely through very slow growth and less challenging times, is stopping the residents from seeing the agenda that they voted for be realized.
In Nova Scotia, mayors are one vote around a council table. But Ontario has brought in powers allowing mayors to set the budget, make decisions without the majority of council, and hire and fire chief administrative officers.
It sounds like a relatively inexperienced mayor jumping to the conclusion that this could somehow make his workload lighter. And if we study mayors in other jurisdictions, this does not really hold true.
On Thursday, Council will debate a motion asking the province to consult with municipalities before bringing in such powers. Haley Ryan, CBC News, Halifax.
Despite signs of a slowing rental market in Halifax, overall rents and affordability are not improving. That's according to a new report from the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation. An economist with CMHC says prices for older buildings are quickly closing the gap with newer builds.
There's still something that we could call two different markets. So we have the high-priced, more recent buildings. Those are the places where we see slowdown, less demand. But if we look at older buildings, cheaper rents, it still remains very tight in those areas.
Jasmine Tucci says Halifax has seen its largest increase in housing supply on record for the first time this year. More than 1,000 housing units were completed from January to June.
27 food services workers at the Nova Scotia Community College are losing their jobs after the college announced it is planning to outsource its food services to Aramark Canada. The college says in-house operations were causing losses of $800,000 a year. One worker tells CBC News that employees were blindsided. They were also told they will be offered interviews with the new company, but the new jobs come with lower pay, fewer benefits, and no pension.
Commuters along Highway 2 in Colchester County have been detouring for months, and there's little information about when the lower Portapique Bridge will be repaired.
As the CBC's Luke Ettinger reports, the closure is affecting tourist traffic along the scenic route.
For months, travelers across the Portapique River have detoured down this gravel road. It takes about 10 minutes, but there is little information about when the Highway 2 route will be restored. The bumpy detour is frustrating locals and deterring tourists.
Other museums are telling me that people are hesitant to come out to the Bass River Museum due to the detour and how rough it is. A lot of people are experiencing damage to their vehicles as a result of the detour, and everyone's just kind of saying, we'll save that stop for next year.
Swartz says the museum deferred hiring summer students in anticipation of a slowdown. The Department of Public Works says design work to repair the bridge is complete and should take place this summer. Public Works has also graded the detour and added products that have reduced the amount of dust and loose gravel.
You know, I'm very hopeful that they'll be out there in a couple of weeks. It's not a big job once they get there, Luke. It's getting them there. That's the challenge.
Residents have asked about a temporary bridge, but Public Works says the short detour and relatively high traffic volumes were not suitable. A temporary bridge has been a solution on Highway 2 before, when a military bus took out the Bass River Bridge in the 1960s.
Which led to the building of a temporary bridge, which was always intended to just bridge the gap between the destruction of the last bridge and when they could build a better, fancier bridge. However, here we are in 2025, and they've just ceased using that temporary bridge, so our temporary bridge ended up lasting for 65 years.
The wooden design is an ode to the Dominion Chair Company, which operated in the community from 1860 to 1989. With one bridge closed and another opened along the route, Swartz remains hopeful the public will turn out for an open house later this month and support local businesses. Luke Ettinger, CBC News, Bass River.
There's a look at Wolfville. That's the work at the trestle statue there. Ryan will be back next with his full weather forecast. Stay with us.
This weather update is brought to you by Access Wellness Nova Scotia. Book your appointment today for free, confidential mental wellness support.
Yeah, pretty hard to beat today. I mean, the
Ticked
sun,
all the boxes, didn't it?
lovely temperature, not much humidity.
Yeah, but we do need the rain, so we are getting some of that as well.
Yeah, probably not enough either. Like we're gonna see
dry.
we're gonna see some showers, but it is increasingly dry out there. It was drier than normal in June, and we really haven't had too much in July, other than those downpours, of course. But those again are local. We kind of need that widespread shot, but not for the weekend, right?
Right. Time
Can we
it
arrange
as
that?
best you
That'd
can.
be good.
Yeah, well, the weekend's looking pretty good for sure. Speaking of looking good, have a look at this webcam video from Lower Truro. Just a terrific evening.
The sun on the water there.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's a fantastic evening all across the province right now. You can see temperatures are 27 in Truro right now. That is one of our hotter spots in the province. Mid to high, mid-20s we'll call it, across northern parts of the province, and some high teens and low 20s along the Atlantic coastline and into Cape Breton. Now, as we look at the dew points, and you can see that it has been much more tolerable today across the province. The dew point is just 10 in Halifax, 16 in Port Hawkesbury, so a little bit more noticeable there. It's been the southwest that it's been a little more stubborn today, and that fog has been lingering along the coast and the clouds as well, but we're going to be watching that, lingering through the overnight tonight, especially in through the southwest, and maybe a shower in Shelburne over the next couple of hours, still possible as we look at the satellite and radar picture. The clouds, there they are, again, have been fairly dominant in through the south and west. A terrific day. Cape Breton, the North Shore, most of the province. So again, we are watching some of that cloud cover already building in, but this is the system here that we're going to be watching that will push the clouds in through Thursday, bringing us some shower chances, especially later Thursday and in through Friday with that system. And then high pressure will slide in on the other side, and that's going to be bringing us a pretty nice weekend. So some good news there. Temperatures really surging across Saskatchewan into Manitoba. The cool down with a cold front into Alberta today, as you can see, near 23 degrees. Phoenix, Arizona at 46 degrees. Again, a summer day there. Now, as we look at the temperatures for tonight, we're talking about overnight lows in the generally the 14 to 15 range. Sheet Harbor, actually, that should say 12 for overnight lows there, and similar story in through Cape Breton and towards the North Shore as well, in that 10 to 14 range for the most part. Now, as we look at the hour by hour, again, things will start to thicken up as we move through the overnight. We'll see some increasing clouds through the North Shore and Cape Breton through the morning hours. Everybody else really clouding up kind of late overnight into the wee morning hours. So I think generally it's a cloudy day, but Cape Breton and the North Shore, we'll call it a mix of sun and cloud, at least for the morning, before things really thicken up into the afternoon. There are those shower chances, Yarmouth and Shelburne and the South Shore into the afternoon, and that risk will then push up towards Metro for the evening. If you've got soccer plans, baseball, any outdoor activities for Thursday evening in this area here, basically the western third of the province, make sure that those plans include an umbrella, as we will be watching the chances for showers to increase throughout the afternoon and evening. Cape Breton, terrific day tomorrow. Temperatures ranging between about 20 and 25, but I do think in and around the Bredor Lakes will be 26, 27, maybe 28 degrees. In through the North Shore as well, temperatures 24 to 27. Onshore flow from the southeast will keep temperatures a bit cooler in through the metro area near 22, but inland should get to around 24. There's the South Shore. Those showers, yes, and temps a bit cooler in that southeast wind as well. Excuse me. Now that low will move out as we move into Friday, that first band will move out. As we move into Friday, we've got a secondary push of moisture, and this is the one that's looking a little more substantial, but again, probably not enough. And into Friday afternoon, that will push up towards Cape Breton, and we are looking at that clear out for western areas of the province, and maybe even some sunshine breaking in here from Yarmouth to Kentville to Bridgewater for Friday afternoon and into Friday evening. That low will continue to move out, and then for Saturday, it's a lingering shower chance for Cape Breton, but overall, it's looking pretty good for the weekend, and that muggy meter is staying notably noticeable, but we're staying out of certainly south of the truly tropical range, which is good for, those folks who don't love the humidity. which is a lot of us. Now, as we look at the Sunday forecast, that is, I think, going to be the pick of the weekend. Monday looking good, too. Chance for some showers and storms maybe on Tuesday as the heat and humidity do look set to build a little bit, Tom and Amy, but that's a solid looking 7-day right there.
It sure is.
Sure is.
Thanks so much for that, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
More PEI potato farmers are taking part in a program to track aphids this summer. The pest can cause significant damage and transmit viruses.
Aphid traps are checked twice a week, and the numbers seem to be on the upswing. Nancy Russell reports.
More PEI farmers are keeping a lookout for aphids in their potato fields this summer. The provincial government has been running the Aphid Alert program for decades, but there is an increase in interest this year, with almost double the number of traps. And they are catching lots of aphids.
Since the first week, we are having a real high number of aphids. We are starting the third week now of the monitoring program for this year. And since week 1, we are having like over 100 aphids collecting the traps across the province.
Aphids can cause significant damage, especially for seed potatoes.
One is by directly feeding from the plant, but the most important type of damage they can make is by spreading viruses to the plant.
Guy Cudmore says the aphid tracking program helps him protect his seed potatoes.
We send samples into the lab, and they have to have a passing rate or failing rate, and it's very important that they have a passing rate. So we've been doing this for a while, and the aphid traps help us monitor what we're doing in our fields.
Bugs, but no aphids though.
Cudmore says the seed potatoes are sprayed regularly with an aphicide to control the pest. He can also treat them with mineral oil if it looks like the numbers are going up.
When the aphid bites the plant, it's going to clean its stinger before it goes to another plant. So we would change probably the amount of oil that's going on, and that's one thing that we can change quite easy.
Santos says aphids thrive in warmer temperatures, which could become more common as PEI feels the impact of climate change.
It's not easy to predict, but as the aphids, they are very impacted by the temperature, so it's possible that we'll start seeing aphids arriving earlier in the field, and potentially with more cycles per year, per season.
Santos says he's happy with the increased number of farms and traps this season. He hopes that will give the potato industry the information they need to keep on top of the aphid numbers this summer. Nancy Russell, CBC News, Milton.
Coming up, a new study says Halifax's rental market is slowing down, but affordability for tenants remains high. The latest numbers from the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation are in, and they show signs that the rental market is slowing down in the Halifax area, but affordability remains an issue for many. Lucas Jasmine Tucci is an economist with CMHC and has been compiling the numbers. So, sir, advertised rents for new listings, this is for 2 bedrooms now, down more than 4% compared to this time last year. Can you help us put that in perspective for us, or are we starting to turn some kind of a corner here?
Yeah, so those are asking rents. So this is the rent that you would see for apartments that are available to be leased. So this is not representative of the market as a whole, but if we compare the beginning of this year to last year, the asking rents are a little bit lower than they were because demand is slower. It's a bit longer to lease a new apartment. So because of this, the rent that are asked or suggested are a bit lower than they were.
And so why is demand down a little bit?
The main reason is that the population is not growing as fast as it was before. That's because there were changes in policy regarding immigration, and because of the fact that when people move in general and there's immigration, a large portion of those people will tend to go to the rental market. If there's less people that migrate towards a region, we will see that there is a decrease in demand. So this is affecting a portion of the market. So when we look at the market by different segments, by rent ranges, we see that the most expensive, maybe newer apartments, they see a little bit less demand. And this is where we see a reduction in pressure. But then when we look at the rest of the market, in older buildings, we see that there's still a lot of demand there. There's still pressure. So this reduced population increase is not affecting the market as a whole yet.
And so then what can you say, if anything at all, about how or what this means for affordability in this market?
We've seen that there's this change in trend that started last year, continuing this year. Probably that rent cannot increase as much as they used to before because we've reached some kind of a ceiling. The capacity to pay from renters is from tenants it has reached capacity. We see it when we look at a measure of this, for example, would be the rent to income ratio. So what proportion of the rent paid is to the total income? It has increased rapidly, especially during the pandemic, and this is decreasing slightly this year. So it might mean that we've reached this limit where tenants cannot pay more, even if the cost of maintaining a building is increasing quickly. This space cannot be kept.
And so what does this say, or what might this say about supply? And could we see new construction slow down as well then, if we're seeing that change in the population?
So in the last years, we've seen a lot of new construction. It takes a lot of time to from the start of a project to the end. There was a gap between the number of starts and the actual completions because of the time it takes to build those. Right now, we're seeing a strong increase in completion. We've seen more than 1,000 units, rental units added to the market since the beginning of the year. So that's a record. And with time, all those units that were started in the last years will come to market, will add to the supply. And that's another factor that will relieve pressure along with a slower demand.
Okay, so you're looking at the Halifax picture there, and that's what we're talking about when we're looking at these numbers. But how much can you extrapolate this information, this data, to other parts of Nova Scotia, perhaps?
So the data we have in the latest report is focused mainly on Halifax, but what we can say is that the migration numbers are valid for the province as a whole. So this slowdown in demand, it's true in Halifax, but it's true also elsewhere in the province.
And so then what are you expecting to see in the coming months? Is this a downward trend that is likely to continue?
last year we noticed that there was this change in the market. It's continuing right now, and we expect that this trend will continue towards the end of the year, probably next year. So when we do our next measures of the vacancy rate, we expect that it will be a bit higher. So last year we measured it at 2.1%. We expect it to be a bit higher in October when we do our next survey.
All right, we'll see how that all turns out. Mr. Jasmine Tucci, nice to talk to you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Coming up, Texas officials say search efforts won't stop until all those missing and dead in last week's flash flooding are found.
And an RBC customer is on the hook for nearly $15,000 after falling victim to a bank investigator scam. Welcome back. Ukraine's leader, Volodymyr Zelenskyy, met with Pope Leo in Italy.
He's trying to raise support as his country fights Russian aggression. Anna Cunningham has more.
The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is in Rome for the two-day Ukraine Recovery Conference, but he's found time to fit in some meetings ahead of that. His first stop was the Vatican for a private audience with Pope Leo at his papal residence, Castel Gandolfo. Pope Leo was heard asking the Ukrainian president, "How are things going then?" These talks focused on peace in Ukraine. A statement released by the Vatican saying during the cordial conversation, the importance of dialogue as the preferred means of ending hostilities was reaffirmed. The Holy Father expressed his sorrow for the victims and renewed his prayers and closeness to the Ukrainian people, encouraging every effort aimed at the release of prisoners and the search for shared solutions. And the Vatican officially confirming that Pope Leo is willing to welcome representatives of both Ukraine and Russia to the Vatican for potential negotiations. But we know that Russia has previously rejected any such move. President Trump appears to be losing patience with his Russian counterpart.
I'm not happy with Putin. I can tell you that much right now, because he's killing a lot of people. And a lot of them are his soldiers and their soldiers, mostly. And it's now up to 7,000 a week. And I'm not happy with Putin. We get a lot of thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth. He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
The US president has now reversed a pause the Pentagon imposed on Ukraine weapons deliveries, and he is promising to send Ukraine 10 Patriot missiles. Ukraine says it's awaiting confirmation, but describes that number as minuscule compared to what it says it needs. Anna Cunningham, CBC News, London.
India and the United States are in the midst of negotiations on a trade deal, and President Donald Trump says they are close to sealing one. But at the same time, he continues to wage his trade war, adding on tariffs. Salima Shivji has the details.
There were reports that a mini trade deal between India and the United States could be announced as early as today. That didn't happen, but U.S. President Donald Trump says an agreement is imminent.
We're close to making a deal with India.
The two sides have been in intense negotiations for several months now, ever since Trump announced that he would impose reciprocal tariffs on India and a long list of other countries, with the deadline being today. That was pushed back again, but now there are more threats.
10% charge.
That would be India, Brazil.
That's right, they have to pay 10%.
The president also floating an extra 10% tariff for what he calls anti-American policies on countries like India, Brazil, Russia, and others that are part of the BRICS alliance, a grouping of emerging economies. And the U.S. is also now moving forward with a 50% tariff on copper imports. India exports more than 350 million American dollars worth a year, so that would be a big blow to this country. India, in all of this, is trying to balance its role in the BRICS alliance with its strengthening trade with the West. That has always been a delicate act. Now, even with Donald Trump's continuous back and forth on tariffs, experts do believe that the Indian side, the negotiators here, feel that they are quite confident that they can get a mini deal signed, with the larger sticking points left to a more comprehensive trade agreement that will be to come.
I think the intention, particularly from the Indian side, is pretty high to get the deal compared to what has happened in the past. In the past, we've drawn much thicker red lines than we have this time.
But the red lines are still there. India won't budge on its dairy sector or on agriculture, even though the Americans are pushing for more market access. India really won't entertain opening up those sectors because, of course, they have always been a no-go for trade deals. The country really eager to protect its small-scale farmers here. Salima Shivji, CBC News, Mumbai.
The deadly floods in Texas have shone a light on a town that had what other towns did not, a warning siren system. Katie Nicholson went to Comfort, Texas to learn how it worked.
This is the Comfort, Texas fire station, and it's been getting a lot of attention because it has a flood siren that goes off in two parts of the town to alert people when it is that they may need to evacuate. And it went off on the 4th of July. It works like this. They have a gauge in the water that they monitor, and they were watching those water flows on the 4th of July. Their command team then decided to hit the button that sounds the flood alert to notify people they need to get ready to go. Fire Chief Danny Morales has been with the department for more than 50 years. He says it's a tool other communities along the river might consider.
You know, we were prepared, and like I say, the siren helped our people.
you know, it's better than not having anything, you know, for us. And we're just trying to improve on that. I lost my granddad in the 78 flood here in Comfort, you know, and ever since then, you know, I've made it a point that, you know, I'm going to try to better our warning systems for our community.
One of the issues officials are constantly being asked about is whether there were failures or breakdowns in the warning systems of other communities hit by this flash flood. But officials say right now the focus remains on recovery of the more than 170 who are still missing. Katie Rode is a volunteer firefighter, and she took us to one of the spots where her teams have been searching near where they recovered a victim. She's also a pastor and spoke about how difficult it was for searchers to learn how many are still unaccounted for.
There's a line in the funeral prayer where we say that God makes holy the resting places of all of God's people. And if you think about it that way, this entire river has become a very holy place because this is a resting place for a lot of God's people. So that's been in my mind.
The governor has vowed that they won't stop the recovery efforts until every one of the missing has been found. But the thing the searchers are finding is that materials in one area have been transported dozens of kilometers further downstream, meaning that it's a very long process ahead of them. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Comfort, Texas.
It's not only Texas that's been facing epic flooding. New Mexico has been hit by heavy monsoon rains.
Oh my gosh, y'all look.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
3 people died in this flood on Tuesday in a mountain resort town. The victims were an adult, a 4-year-old girl, and 7-year-old boy. The mayor said it could have been much worse, but many people heeded warnings to get to higher ground.
The Department of National Defense says it's taking this week's arrests of 2 armed forces members very seriously. They're accused of being part of a terror plot that involved seizing land in Quebec. Extremism with the Canadian Armed Forces is an ongoing issue. As Evan Dyer reports, there's growing demand for more robust action to deal with it.
I would like to say that I'm surprised, but I'm not.
Professor Andy Knight says his own interviews with radicalized Canadian soldiers and ex-soldiers done at the military's request convinced him there was a problem.
There were some individuals that joined the military to learn the skills. You know, one individual said that he joined the military to learn how to kill brown and black people.
Military service gives soldiers like these Vandu's infantry training in military weapons and tactics. For an extremist, there can also be opportunities to steal equipment hard to get elsewhere. The accused in the Quebec plot had a significant amount of military kit.
So you have the arms, now you have the training. There are explicit attempts to recruit people with military experience, whether they're former or whether they're active.
Police say the 4 men were seeking to create an anti-government militia and aim to seize and hold a parcel of land.
So is that the first stages of creating, this white ethno-state that so many far-right actors and accelerationists, for example, are interested in?
If the allegations are proven, this wouldn't be the first time a former or active Canadian soldier has been caught up in extremism, most notoriously Patrick Matthews of the neo-Nazi group The Base. He fled Canada in 2019 before being arrested by the FBI in Delaware and sent to a high-security federal prison. A 2022 report found rising extremism in the ranks. Experts say the military needs to do a better job of identifying those who wear the uniform for all the wrong reasons, both those who try to join in the future and those who could already be there. Evan Dyer, CBC News, Ottawa.
Health officials in southwestern Ontario are racing to stop the spread of Legionnaire's disease. So far, 1 person is dead. Dozens more are sick with the respiratory illness. But as Jennifer Lagrassa explains, it's still unclear what's causing the outbreak.
London, Ontario is now grappling with a deadly outbreak of Legionnaire's disease. Officials confirm 1 person has now died.
We are seeing cases in excess more than we would typically expect. We typically expect 1 to 2 a month. In the past week, we've identified over 35 cases.
The outbreak of the respiratory illness is in the city's southeast, the same area where there was another deadly outbreak last summer. But health officials still don't know how people are getting infected. Legionnaire's disease is caused by bacteria that can grow in warm, still water, often in cooling towers, which remove heat from large buildings. When contaminated water vaporizes and people breathe it in, they can get sick. For most, it's a mild illness.
We are talking about the people who have developed a pneumonia and become quite ill, so they have a fever, cough, and have developed shortness of breath.
Symptoms start within 2 to 14 days of infection, but it's not contagious, and if caught early, it is treatable.
Antibiotics used for severe pneumonias in hospital would cover this pathogen.
Those at higher risk of serious illness include people who are older than 40 years old, smoke, have a chronic illness, or a weak immune system.
They've been long-term smokers, they've got damage to their lungs already, and on top of that, now they've got Legionnaire's disease that makes their oxygen levels drop fairly quickly.
Since 2018, Canada has had about 500 to 700 cases each year, though health experts say the illness is likely underreported.
You need to address it quick.
One expert in the water treatment industry says there's calls to better enforce cooling tower inspections.
Doing tests more often, that's what it brings you to be more proactive.
The public health unit in London, Ontario is sending people out to cooling towers of buildings where many of the cases are located, but caution the investigation could take some time. Jennifer Lagrassa, CBC News, Toronto.
If you get a call from your bank warning you about a possible scam, you might want to hang up.
As Sophia Harris reports, fraudsters posing as bank investigators are stealing millions of dollars from unsuspecting Canadians.
Hello? Melissa Plett says there was nothing suspect about an apparent call from her bank. The caller sounded professional. The phone's call display showed RBC.
It was very, 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 very well executed.
The caller said someone was trying to steal money from her account. He directed Plett to log into her RBC banking app and follow his instructions to safeguard her cash. After the call ended, Plett discovered almost $15,000 had disappeared from her account. She says RBC refused to reimburse her.
For you to finally have a little bit of a savings account and it just to be gone, it's like, I'm gonna cry now. It's just, you just feel helpless.
Plett is one of many victims of the growing bank investigator scam. So far this year, the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre heard from 677 victims of the fraud and tallied $11.7 million in losses, close to double the amount in the same period last year.
Well, what do you say?
The actual numbers are likely much higher.
Right now, you are connected with the fraud department.
2 weeks ago, this reporter got the call. The scammer knew my full name and bank and used spoofing technology to make the bank's phone number appear on my call display.
I feel this is a scam. I'm a reporter with CBC News. Hello?
If they have personal information, then it makes it believable, right? You know, victims are seeing a number on the call display that they trust.
Even so, sometimes banks hold the victims responsible and refuse refunds.
The thing is, people were tricked.
This consumer advocate says Canada needs to adopt stronger regulations to ensure victims of the fraud get their money back.
They shouldn't be held liable. We have to take into consideration these kind of scams are very elaborate.
Ottawa says it's exploring stronger protections for fraud victims. RBC says it works hard to combat fraud and takes customer complaints seriously.
Okay.
After CBC News reached out to RBC about Plett's case, the real RBC called her and said it's looking into it.
Thank you so much.
If you get a fraud alert call from your bank, experts advise you to hang up and call your bank back to make sure that's really who was calling. Sophia Harris, CBC News, Toronto.
This weather update is brought to you by Access Wellness Nova Scotia. Book your appointment today for free, confidential mental wellness support.
Okay, yeah, looking like certainly down the road a little bit. A nice little stretch of weather on the way for Nova Scotians.
I know. Folks that have their vacations coming up got to be pretty happy about it.
Yeah, the weekend looks good. If you're not on vacation, maybe you got Saturday, Sunday off, which does look great as well. Have a look at our viewer picture of the day. This one, a nice sunset picture. This is from East River. And how about this?
Lovely.
Wendy Cook with a terrific evening sky. Thank you so much to Wendy.
We get a few from East River, you know?
Yeah, we do.
That's a good providers down there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks to Wendy and everybody for sending your picks in. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. So for Thursday, the clouds on the increase, shower chances for the afternoon and the evening. First for the Tri-County, then the South Shore, possibly up into the metro area. Looks like it'll hold off till after supper time, though. But certainly the chance for showers for Thursday evening in the metro area. The valley as well into the evening, the risk, and then everybody else will hold off until Friday. Let's get right to that Friday forecast, and you can see, yeah, it's looking a little unsettled, but that's okay because we'll see clearing skies on Saturday, Cape Breton, some lingering showers, but Sunday is looking A-okay.
It looks pretty good. Okay, thanks, Ryan. Well, a strong marriage is about having each other's back and overcoming obstacles together. See what I mean?
Yeah,
This wife-carrying contest in Finland gives falling head over heels a whole new meaning.
Couples raced through a course filled with obstacles, including water and sand. The person designated as husband had to carry their partner to the finish line. An American couple won the main race.
This is the first time in the event's history a separate race was held for female couples. More than 200 people from 18 countries took part in this year's championships.
What a competition.
Love the Mario Luigi there.
That's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.